Hello and welcome to a video that I'm not sure how it's going to go. This video is going to be conlanging. For those of you who don't know, conlang is a constructed language, which essentially means it's a language. Wait, I forgot to take my headphones off. It's a language that is not formed naturally. Somebody either made it or I left my notebook over across the room. But it's a language that was essentially made, not evolved naturally. Sorry, I have to grab things. So today we will be starting to make a language. Now, I didn't come up with the language we are attempting to make. This language is actually from a book. Oh yeah, some examples of conlangs if you still don't understand what it is. A lot of the languages in the Hobbits and the Lord of the Rings books are actually speakable and are conlangs. Or Klingon is another famous one, where they made a language for a movie. So the language I'm making today is from Wings of Fire. It's called Aquatic, and essentially the reason Aquatic exists is there's a bunch of sea dragons who live under the ocean, and to communicate effectively under the ocean, they use a mixture of, they have bioluminescent scales they can turn off and on, and like a mixture between that and a form of sign language. So yeah, I'm really out of my depth here, but we are going to be trying. So I have tea for this. I also have music. Okay. Not playing my music through my desktop, which is annoying. So, what are the steps to making conlang? Well, normally, at least what I would do is I would decide on phonetics. So what sounds you want to use. I hope the music isn't making me like quiet. And then I would make a script, and then I would do grammar rules. Then you would come up with some words. So like some of the most simple words that you need, and then you would just kind of branch out from there. We are not doing that today. Because first, phonetics and script do not matter. This is a sign language, or a form of sign language. Yeah, I do still need to do grammar. But what we're going to start with, my plot for what we're going to start with is we're going to come up with how you would speak this without glowing scales. Because I would love to strap LEDs to me.
That if you're a school custodian, cleanliness is your top priority. That's why you can rely on Granger for a range of cleaning products and equipment.
Well, let me skip it.
To floor scrubbers. Granger for the ones who get it done.
Why did it start in the middle? We need to come up with a way. I'd be willing to strap LEDs to me, give myself a little device that allows me to control the LEDs. But we need to come up with a way for people who don't have glowing scales to speak this. Because it's not very useful to me to go, oh, I'm flashing these scales. That's very slow. And this is like the one thing I thought about beforehand. So normally, the dragons who actually speak this in the book, they would do signs that both require one hand and two hands. For this, any signs that would require two hands were going to modify into one-handed signs, and so every dragon or person who doesn't have glowing speakles. I cannot talk today. Thankfully, we're doing a sign language. Any dragon that does not have glowing scales, and any person trying to speak this, would have one hand that essentially indicates what scales they're using, and another hand to sign. And how I'm thinking of doing this is which way you're holding your hand tells the person what like group of scales you're using, and then you use fingers to indicate which scales. So like you split all the scales into groups of 5. For that, we need to think about where there's scales. And so I'm going to arbitrary. Well, this part isn't arbitrary. We know they have 3 snout scales. Also, I'm deciding it's symmetrical, so there's not going to be, oh, you flash this scale on the left side. It's just going to be symmetrical. Because I didn't want to have to double the amount of scales I needed to be able to indicate. This bracelet it's like kind of annoying, but I have a Wings of Fire bracelet on, so I'm not going to take it off. And then we're going to do 2 pairs of neck scales. Most dragons will have actually more scales than what we're going to say, but we're going to say these are the scales we're using. So right now I'm thinking they have 3 on their snout, and then they have a pair on their upper neck and a pair on their lower neck, which I could probably honestly do more on the neck, but I don't care. If any Wings of Fire nerd gets mad at me for where I decide to put scales, go make your own conlang. Like, honestly, if you don't like how I'm doing it, do it yourself. I'm sorry, I'm very confrontational today. So, I guess this is our head group. And then I'm thinking for body we have 5 pairs. Then we have lower body. Which is again 5 pairs. Yeah, I have no idea how this video is going to do in the algorithm. And then let's go with tail, face, 5 pairs. Tip. And then we have front leg. So with the legs, I'm deciding they have scales on the outside, and then the symmetrical rule applies. So on my left arm, the symmetrical rule applies to my right arm. So the front legs are grouped together. I'm using the number 5 a lot because humans have 5 fingers. Yeah. I also have no idea how well my OBS is going to handle this. Actually handling it fairly well. Yeah. I'm trying some new things with how my OBS is set up in this. So I am going to have to just occasionally look and monitor that. I'm also arbitrarily deciding just world building with the wings. They do kind of do a humming thing, kind of. So some of them have a habit similar to people have a habit of humming under their breath, where they will gently flash their wing patterns, which actually though so Wings of Fire Lord, they have some bioluminescence in their wings, and it's in patterns along the edges of their wings, not like the scales, but the actual membrane. Although I guess I need a reference. I need to check something. But the pattern actually can help you tell lineage. There's one of the important plot points is one of the dragons meets other sealings for the first time, and they look at them and go, "Wait, that's a member of the royal family," because they have very similar patterns on their wings to the queen and the king. Oh no, I'm not a school custodian though.
That's why you can rely on Granger for a range of cleaning products and equipment, from disinfectants to floor.
I hate ads I can't skip.
Number 1, get it done.
So I'm thinking dragons who would have the habit of humming under their breath. Kind of the habit in Aquatic is you flash the patterns very gently, but you make it brighter or dimmer to kind of represent pitch, and then you flash in rhythm. I just think it's cool. I'm also going to say they use their wing patterns a lot in dancing. The wing patterns are less for communication and more just rhythmic. Because I'm only putting one pair there. Yeah, I have no idea how long I'm going to do this video. It could be 2 hours, it could be half an hour. Oh yeah, well, before I forget, we're 12 minutes into the video. I talked to someone who was like, "Hey, I'm willing to help you edit because I think we would get more views on your videos if you did edited versions." And I was like, "Okay." So shout out to I don't know what their YouTube tag is. Shout out to my editor. I'm going to put their YouTube tag in the description. Shout out to them. They're really cool. Not all my videos are going to be edited. Mostly my Minecraft videos are going to be edited because you can cut out some of the boring things there that are just me farm. But I'm looking at a reference picture of the ceilings now. Okay, my reference picture has told me they have significantly more scales than I am using, but I also don't care. And the picture of just a generic ceiling in the book doesn't have bioluminescent scales, except for the wing patterns. But the one on the cover does. So we are going to assume they do. I could give them 2 pairs, but and so the next step, we're not even into like vocabulary yet or grammar rules. Our next step is we're going to figure out how you hold the hand, and we're going to assign essentially names for me to help keep track of these. Let's see, just thinking about hand positions. It can't be any detailed stuff because different fingers need to be up, which means flipping people off is apparently representative of some words, I guess. Don't use this power unwisely. We're not going to make these too complicated.
Granger knows that as an HVAC technician,
But I'm not an HVAC technician.
your first call.
So I'm going to give each different scale or pair of scales a designation based off what group it is in and what finger you use for it. So your furthest scale on your head is HT because it's in the head group, and you use your thumb for it. And then there's HP, HPO. Oh wait, we're keeping it. These aren't like actual names. These are just to help me like know which scales we're using. PO is pointer in this situation. And then there's and then there's HR and HPI. So like, wait, these aren't snap scales. Yeah, this is pretty boring stuff, honestly. I find it enjoyable. So like, if I wanted to flash my neck my neck scales, both pairs, like 3 times, I would flick. I would have my hand by my head in like a fist position, and I would flip up my ring and pinky finger 3 times. Now upper body is going to be hand on chest. My brain just had an idea. I don't know if I want to implement it, but we could have it so we split it up into groups of 4 instead of 5. And then we have your thumb function as like intensity meter. So like intensely flashing would be thumb. I don't want to.
Granger knows that as an HVAC technician.
But I'm not an HVAC technician.
Your first call.
I messed up you. Yeah. So this is just good notation. Lower body is going to be hands by your side, I guess. And as a general rule, it's going to move down your body. So like LBT is the highest for lower body skills. It would be really funny if this video does really well. Because so far this video has just been me typing out random things and going, here's why I typed that. No, we don't get the TBH. Although, there's going to be one that's... Oh no, what have I done? This is why you think about things for more than 5 seconds before going, here's how I'm going to do the standard notation for just writing these out.
Looking for a fresh deal this week? Grocery outlet, your extreme value headquarters has you covered with 2-pound bags of organic Fuji apple.
Organic? May I interest you in a TTT? I should win an award in the conlang community for that. A way of doing standard notation that just one of the scale pairs is the TTT scale pair. It's just the way it is. I do not control the TTT scale pair. Where did my front legs go? I had front legs at one point. Why is my music not being nice? It just decided to pause itself. I'm probably not even going to use the standard notation a lot. What word do you think? It probably thinks, yeah. No, that's intentional. Yep. Now it's going to try autocorrect words to that. No, that's a part of my personal dictionary too. What do you think that is? No, that's also part of my personal dictionary. You probably think that's flip, but it's actually part of my personal dictionary. We are moving down. BLT. Oh yeah, I haven't been done doing where you hold the hand. Tail base. I might need to stand up to figure this out. I'm talking louder so you can hear me. So, head, upper body. What was lower body? Oh yeah, lower body was hands by side. Would tail just be like behind you? Not like fully behind you, but like
Granger knows that as an HVAC technician, the heat is on you every day. Your first call, an office building with a noise-based heating. Time to put your experience to work. On site, your meters don't lie, the blower motor's failing. But Granger's easy-to-search website quickly helps you find what you need to keep the office and their HVAC running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
So, brainstorming. You could hold it slightly behind you and have tail tip be like directly, just like straight line, like you're pulling a bow backwards. Not for me, because I pull bows with my left hand. Anyways, or you could have it cross over, and then tail tip goes up. So kind of the signs make kind of a U or kind of weird U shape as they move down the body, and then the wing is, of course, just going to be straight out. There is no question about that. I can definitely spell opposite. You know, actually, let's swap those. You can also spell shoulder. Legs! Legs exist! I know that's not a word. Don't get on my case for that. So, whoa! Why did that happen? This has been one of my more active videos, and I'm loving it. I need more videos. I need to do more videos about conlanging, because that would actually encourage me to work on my conlangs. The problem with my other conlangs is not only they use they use scripts that don't exist, which I could use Paint or I could use Google Drive to insert them in the Google Doc, but it would require me to have art skills.
It's more than an SUV. It's your Equinox. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Okay. I'm not using my phone to play music, which means I have more control over how y'all hear it. At least I should. Except for it's coming through my mic for some reason, not my desktop audio. And it allows me to use my phone without having to pause the music. I'm realizing I just like letter combos that start with W. Like they just seem so silly to me. And whenever you're using the pair of patterns, I will not be persuaded on this. So we need a way of doing rhythms because some of this will rely on rhythms. Pulling out my notebook. And going to use letters that don't really show up. So let's do X and J. We probably actually need 3 letters. Let's do those 3. Wait, no. U appears. Wait, I can probably just do... I can't do L or M. Well, there's no capital O's. So my brain, it likes to think of just writing out rhythms with X's and O's. I don't know, it just feels fitting to me. X is short, O is long. And we're also going to put the middle Q in there just because I'm feeling chaotic and Q doesn't get enough love. Q is one of my favorite letters. I could also use O as a break in the rhythm. I probably shouldn't be using O because that would make notation more messy, but also there's no capital O's in notation already. So yeah, notating a sign language is a little weird because I can't just use the International Phonetic Alphabet and write the International Phonetic Alphabet symbol equals and then whatever letter or script I'm using. No, it's like I have to come up with a bunch of different systems. Actually, O makes more sense as space. Yeah, with these letters is mostly, I liked it. And now with the break, they will all be short breaks and you can add 2 or 3 breaks to do longer breaks. My gain was up way too high. Is that better?
Time to put your experience to work. On site, your meters don't lie.
I'm having a lot of fun doing this. So right now, I should try to do grammar. Actually, I should be smart and use tabs. Actually, if I was really a shark, I wouldn't be using my owlbear as my emotional support, and instead would be using my shark stuffy that I've owned from IKEA that just happens to be Blaha. before either of us was a queer icon. I got this shark before either of us was a queer icon, and now we're both queer icons. Coincidence? Probably. You can't see my tabs full space, but now I've got a tab for notation and a tab for vocabulary. And so, um, I should also probably do grammar before I do vocab. Am I going to? No. Is it going to make my life harder? Yes. But sometimes you have to do things that make your life harder because you want to enjoy what you're doing. Now, why am I doing vocab first? Well, first, vocab is really fun. And I'm not doing all vocab first. Because we are actually provided some vocab, which I can use as a root for other things and help with the grammar. I'm also got another grammar tab because my brain demands I be smart. Also, that's probably not how you spell grammar. In the grammar, we are going to do some grammar. A little bit of grammar first. Because in the same book that gives us some vocab, it actually splits the vocab into sections, and it says these scales tend to be used for these things, which gives me a very good base. So your snout scales, is this all font? Aha, it is. I don't know why it didn't keep my font across. Fun fact, what most people call fonts are actually typefaces. Your font includes everything, including your typeface, your font size, any italics, bolds, underlines, color. All that's included in your font. But, oh wait, you can't see these. Wait, you can probably see that though. Can you? If you can see this. These are typefaces, not fonts. All of this, though, is a font. You can't see where I am right now. This peeves me. But your snout scales. Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't keep my complete font across tabs. I don't even know if it keeps any of my font. Yeah, for all I know, it doesn't keep typeface across when I add new tabs. Which is annoying for me, who does my stuff in this. It also doesn't keep that. Wow. So yeah, you tend to use your snout scales for questions. It says in the book certain tail stripes. It, at least from my notes, I don't have the actual book. Maybe I can check in on Libby. I don't have Libby on my phone. I don't even know if it's on Libby, but I'm gonna check by getting Libby. In my notes, it just says certain tail scales are used for insults. We don't know which tail scales. At least I don't know. Also, Libby, I don't think it costs any money. But what Libby does is it's an online library. So you can access a ton of ebooks for free from it. and it's what my family uses. I don't know if it's actually free. It's having me set up. TFDL, yeah, that's my library. I need to go talk to my parents.
Ranger knows that if you're school custodian, cleanliness is your top priority. That's why you can rely on Ranger for a range of cleaning products and equipment, from disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Ranger for the one who can get it done. Before starting my journey in WC, I chose to attend a community college. Kind of gave me the chance to get my foot on in the door. I didn't have as many credits experience at WC. So it just gave me that flexibility to be able to do my courses whenever. Learn more now.
Yeah? I have returned with a library card. I should not read that out loud. I don't think anyone's going to try to steal my library card information. But still, that's not a habit I should get into. Now we can search. I can get the audiobook, so no. Well, that was a fun side quest. But for right now, the only information we have is certain tail scales. So I'm going to say often the tip, not always, but often the tip is used for insects. Oh, this is a certain tail shrub. Well, let's look at our notation and just... Okay, I just really like this one, so it gets to be in slips. In the book, it states that your side scales are often used for like flirting and cute names. We are just going to use them for extremely emotionally charged words in general because I think that's smarter. So a lot of words that describe emotions or words that are emotionally charged will originate from the sides. And we are going to go upper body for that because it's closer to your heart. Oh. And then there's... So, now we are doing vocab. Who is HTHPOHM. We are going to need these a lot for the next couple of seconds. I was not smart. So, to increase readability in notations, we are going to put those there. And so that's just a short flash. So let me check my notation. Wow. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't really need to check the notation actually that much. Why? I really like 13 because it looks readable. My brain thought my song was almost over. It's not. So yeah. We are just going to need this combination a lot. Because short flashes are apparently... Wow, this is also not in... So fix all of that. Fix all of that. So who... What? Did I actually copy that? Yes. Who, what is... Yeah. Who, what, where? The common questions. Wow, I was not good at copying things. Long? What is long flash? I don't think there's actually any medium flashes in the original, but I think it's more useful to have them. Oh no, it looks like I'm doing weird chromosomes. Like, this person has some problems with their genetics and probably isn't super healthy. Because chromosomes come in pairs for a reason. This person is, yeah, kind of normal. This person is normal. Well, being intersex is also normal. It's just a rarer normal, I guess. And it's a normal that sometimes comes with health problems. Would this person be intersex? I don't know. I don't know enough about this. I wish I knew more about this. How is just a long flash? Wait, that's the same. Oh no, that's... I read SH as flash. My brain was like, I can't figure out what that is. It must be flash. It was, no, it's just another short. I'm using a mouse pad for the first time and it's still really loud. I'm just loud, I guess. It's actually not a mouse pad.
Granger knows that if you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right, you need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when a conveyor motor falters, Granger offers diagnostic tools like calibration and multi.
I'm getting confused by the original author's inconsistency. They're making me say all three snout scales long flash. I've just struggled with interjections in every language I've tried to speak. It probably didn't help that every single language I've tried to speak but one didn't even attempt to speak me. Wait, did I say interjection? Whatever the words for questions are. Why? That's what I'm asking myself right now. Why did I decide to do something like this? Why is triple flash? It doesn't indicate which one later, but we have the snout scales doing a triple flash later. With that, I would like it to be quick and snappy. With this, it just says triple flash, which I would assume is the same rhythm, but I can get fancy with it. And make it get slower as it goes along, which gives the why, because it gets longer each time. We're starting with a lot of simple vocabulary that just uses very simple groups. It doesn't use like group combos. And any of that to begin. So we're moving on to our certain tail strike, which means I have to write TTT a bunch. Why am I taking this apart? So first one, first insult. This is a fun one. You should use this in your daily life. And since right now we're not really using many hand signals, you can do this with one hand. Once again, it does not tell me the length. Which in theory, there's 9 different rhythms I could put here. We're going long, medium, medium. Why? I don't know. My brain tried to imitate what saying squid brain, like pronounced, very pronounced would sound like, and it's like squid brain. But I had to break it in somewhere, so it's like squid brain. I don't know. Said 3 flashes, but didn't tell me what. So yeah, if you want to call someone squid brain, let's see. Tail base was your hip. No, tail base was your opposite shoulder from your flashing hand, and just long thumb, medium thumb, medium thumb. use this in your daily life. People won't be confused. The next insult. Sea urchin up his snout. This is a whole phrase. Now normally I would be confused by a whole phrase getting turned into what functions as a singular word, which, if you want me to say it for you, is that it's shorter than saying Squidward. The fact that I'm doing the sign language but I don't have like a webcam, like I might need, if I do a second video of this, to put on a mask and just go, y'all need to see what I'm doing. But for now, figure it out yourself. Yeah, no, this whole phrase has turned into a word functionally shorter than squid brain, which I would be confused by, but I've spoken French. And so here's the thing with learning French. French has a lot of pronunciation rules, but it follows all those rules. So it makes sense, unlike English. But here's the thing. Not all French words actually follow the rules. And the more common a word, I noticed and had this pointed out to me, the more common a word, the more likely it was that it didn't follow the rules, and the more likely it was that it was just weird. And so, I'm saying, this is a whole phrase. It's been used so much. Like, back when this language was first getting going, this was the most popular insult. I like this insult less than a lot of other insults in this list, but I guess it was such a common insult when the language was first getting started that it got abbreviated to the point where it's like saying BRB. You're taking a whole phrase and turning it into a word, man. We're going to do this a lot in the beginning because it's like I can't apply consistent grammar rules because this was written not by a conlanger but by an author who was like, I want to give them something. And so there are no consistent rules. It will not make sense. And we're going with these are the common phrases. They don't have to follow the grammar rules. But really, a whole phrase. Also, squid brain, translation, stupid. Sea urchin up his snout, translation, grumpy. Also, I'm changing this thing. I think it was actually his snout in the book, but I'm changing this to gender neutral because that makes more sense. Unless I type it wrong. Whole phrase, it is just my brain is getting tripped up by long not being L. I probably should have done long as L. Who cares though? The notation is confusing for right now, but once I get used to the notation, it will actually be useful. We add our first sign. We are not just doing flashes anymore. You have to actually use your signing hand for this one. And of course, let's come up with some terminology right now. Scale hand is your hand you're doing your scales with. Signing hand is your hand you're doing your signs with. These insults are honestly fairly awkward if you can't flash your scales like a dragon, because you have to do opposite shoulder and then do some signs for some of them. So a phrase later, there's like a whole big long sentence that probably this next episode, if I do a next episode, or maybe the second half of this episode, is just going to be focused on getting grammar done. And then after that, after we do the grammar, it's going to be focused on coming up with stuff to translate this specific sentence. Because at one point in the book, before the main character learns Aquatic, they accidentally flirt with someone by trying to flash their scale to get their attention because they didn't even know Aquatic was a thing. Which means there's a whole big long phrase, which is really funny, that you have to be able to say with just your scale hand. I wonder if I could find it. It's near the beginning. I said, "Hey, Sparkling Teeth, I totally love 3 of your claws, but not the others, and I wish your nose was a herring so I could eat it. Also, your wings sound like sharks snoring." That phrase has to be translatable with only your scale hand, which is going to be an interesting challenge. I might need to go to the bathroom. I should have gone to the bathroom before I did this. Anyways, back to another amazing insult. Shark bait. I don't think this has like a good direct translation into English, like squid brain, idiot. Sea urchin up their snout. They're grumpy. I would be grumpy too if I had a sea urchin up my snout. Shark bait just like describes an emotion we all feel. There isn't a proper way to insult someone like that in English. This is the pinnacle of insults. It doesn't really have an insulting meaning, but it is an insult. Also, I have to decide something about rhythms right now. I might change my notation. So right now, okay, so we're going to do signs are written after the both the scales and the rhythms. But if you want it done at the same time, you do that. If you want it done at after that. So grouping and notation, separation and notation. In the notation I kind of have, I wrote down talon flick as a capital F, and I see no problem with that. That is going to have to be written down in this notation though.
Granger knows that as an HVAC technician, the heat is on you every day. Your first call, an office building with a noisy AC unit. Time to put your experience to work.
I might change this in a sec.
Lower motors failing. But Granger's easy-to-search website quickly helps you find a unique...
I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick because I wasn't smart. I'm sorry. The day has been chaotic video. Sorry about that. I am chaotic today. I am tying up my hair because we are locking in for the next hour. It would be really funny if this video blew up, because it's like this video and a Minecraft video nobody saw. I talked about how sometimes you have to be in a niche enough community that you're like the only person making, or not the only, but one of the few people making content in that area. But it has to be a big enough community for you to blow up. And that's one of the best ways for content creators to get big-ish. But like to be really big, you have to be like really generic. Because like most people know about gaming and are willing to watch some gaming content, but like to be really big, you kind of have to tap into the everyone's willing to watch this. Like not everyone's willing to watch Rings of Fire and conlang content. But like honestly, if this got pushed to both those communities, that would be great. I would love it. YouTube doesn't show my videos to anyone. Anyways, I might change that default talent flick in a second, because I know there's another kind of flick, so yeah, I am going to change it. Back to notation. Let's see, yeah, there is a tail flick. Oh, I'm just a fool and put both as F in my thing. Yeah, talon flick is becoming an F because that's the last letter of talon, and tail flick is LF. Is that actually now? No. Okay. I hit the L button. I'm tired. I'm also way too close to the mic. So yeah, that's how you say shark face. Talon flick it, just flick your fingers. So I'm gonna say it at the same time. So do I flick it twice? No, just be like. Yeah, something like that. Ooh, we got the Talon wiggle coming up. Next insult is creeping tentacle. We are still using the insult scale. And for this, we are just doing I forgot my own notation for a moment. Just short flash and talon wiggle. I wrote as wriggle in here. That's great. I feel like that works better for my brain. If there's a tail wiggle, we will deal with that. I don't. We're probably going to use tail wiggle at some point, but not today.
Granger knows that as an HVAC technician, the heat is on you every day.
The heat's on me, boys. Oh, so is this actually shuffling? It's just been playing the... Oh, it is actually shuffled. Okay. I wanted to play one specific song, but that's not going to happen today. Moon Eel is an insult, apparently. That sounds like a cute name to me. But what do I know? I'm not a dragon that lives under the sea. Pineapple. I also can't pour water. Doing insults is fun, because I can make them funny. So like a flick is like that, talon wiggle is like that, so like, ooh, you're a creeping tentacle. Oh no no no, you're creepy. I would use this one a lot. This is just for when someone's a stuck-up barnacle. Like, this one does not need translation into English for y'all. It's two flashes with talons tapped together and pointing up. This is where we run into problems where I have to modify two hand signs into one hand signs. I think the ruling here is you tap your signing hand to your scale hand. That feels awkward. Oh, it also just says two flashes. So let's add rhythm because rhythm is fun. That does not need to be broken up. It also says pointing up, which would be like triangle with fingers, but I can't do that because I can't have specific fingers.
Looking for a fresh deal this week? Grocery Outlet, your Extreme Value headquarters, has you covered with 2 pound
Extreme Value? I hate ads. So, one of them would be the in talons tapped together pointing up position. Your sign hand would be in that position. And the other would just be, so, bam, ba, ba. So it's like, oh, my room is possessed. My lights aren't screwed in very well, so they will flash sometimes. Ooh, this is a fun one. Because I can use a very simple annotate. I forgot to actually do that. I keep on doing that. Is the song I want actually coming up at some point? No. Oh, they are. They actually might be copyrighted. I don't think so. So I'm going to try it, but... How would I notate talons tapped together pointing? I could add a U for general up vibes. Yeah, for that I'm going to... Also with like... If this is involving wings, you have to do like full body stretches. 2. And it says talons, and my brain registered that as how. So it's like prey or clap position. So with flat and up. So you got your flat palm and you're slapping it against your scale hand. So wow, this feels really awkward. But it's like that. You stuck up barnacle. Oh, I can insult people in a language they don't speak now. I could already do that. I probably said that wrong. But no, just writing what this normally would be. And the great thing about this, you would use this if you had scales you could actually blow. Then that would make your life easier because you don't have to do this some of the very awkward positions for this. Ones where you have to like try to break your body to do it. I love how this is working out. You know what? This video is going to go viral. People are going to add on to this. We're going to make like a universal Google Doc, and people are going to like make this a fully functional language. I'm just going to walk into people who have learned to speak this within like a week, and they're going to speak it at me, and I'm going to be like, I can't learn languages that fast. And then they're going to laugh at me, and I'm going to call them stuck-up articles, because that's the only word I'm going to know. Oh yeah, just as a reminder, I got a pet dog last episode of Crowcraft, and if you want to, you can submit a name for that dog. It's going to be the best dog. Eel spelled with 2 E's, isn't it? Also, what annoys me about this, since it isn't consistent, I'm going to have to try to derive some root grammar rules and root like meanings. I forgot to actually put the. Is it all capitals? I'm guessing we're doing signs in all capitals now. Signs function like rhythms in the grammar. Like for this, I'm going to have to try to break it down into like basic meanings, and we're probably going to come up with this or some variation on the XY rhythm means barnacle. Like it's probably actually different scales. Slash and XY mean barnacle has been translated into the insult tail by common usage, and then that means up. That just means up. That's pretty simple, honestly. moon eel is XX. And then a circle. It says end, draw a circle. I'm going. Do I? So that means like immediately after. There isn't a rest, but they're not together. I have made this decision.
Looking for a fresh deal this week? Grocery
I'm really not.
Headquarters has
Yeah. We actually also know from the book that Talon Circle by itself means. Let's put a pin in this. I'm going to change it a little later. That's one thing I'm going to go. That itself cannot mean. Let's put a pin in this. Actually, let's do really roundabout. Let's have the phrase be a shortened version of let's wait a moon for this. Because they have 3 moons, so a moon just kind of means a little while. It's not like a full month. It's just like kind of a generic saying of let's wait a little bit. Let's put a pin in this. And the Talon Circle just in general means moon. Yeah, I did. Okay. I'm smart and proud of myself. Also, with what I've kind of decided so far, this is actually giving us some grammar rules of adjectives come after nouns. Because I was like, okay, this on a different set of scales probably means barnacles. This probably means up, so it's up barnacle or stuck up barnacle. But the up is after, the moon is after on this. Technically, I could change it. I could change everything. Never necessarily said that they did it at the same time. Oh, with talents tapped together. Whatever. Grammar is going to be just me going, I don't have to let these be consistent with these because these are common, apparently. I don't know why you would call someone a moon eel as an insult, which also means eel is probably XX on a different set of scales, which also kind of implies that a dragon saw an eel and went, what? What is that? And that just kind of got associated and just kind of shifted scales. Like, I don't know. I think it's funny. So, eel is gonna be, what was my notation for it? It would be, ring and pointer. H, not pointer, pinky. So yeah, it just shifted down the face a little and became the word for eel. Language. That's actually kind of realistic how language works. Let's add another insult. Sponge snout. I don't know what that means. Like, to be honest, this is where oh yeah, I can generally figure out what insults mean. No, that's where it fails. Ooh, we see a fast return of the talon wiggle. Which I was like, that makes sense as tentacle. What does that have to do with sponge? Probably doesn't mean like Nadarian generally, because first they probably don't have that classification, and like the only way that would make sense is jellyfishes. They like made the association between jellyfishes and sponges, and like these are fairly similar. And then it drifted in. Gotta be more complex sometimes, 2T Sutherland. So that would look like so long flash flower idea. So like that. I don't put equal sign. This seems to correlate very strongly to snout. But also I don't trust that. Because probably the word for snout would be on the snout, right? But again, we're sliding into the insult scales. And I guess that means this would mean sponge, and this would just so common they cut out the sea urchin and just started saying snout in a derogatory way. Is this insult essentially just saying snout? Both of the talon wiggle probably means tentacle. Anyways, we get into lovey-dovey stuff now. Prepare for weird flirting. Seashell. That's a cute nickname. That's also an important noun. Do you use different scales if it's flirty? We are letting this play, and then I'm going to the one that might be copyrighted, but I don't think so. Like, if I'm just saying, go get me a seashell, do I use different scales for that? Do I still use the flirty scales? What scale did I decide for the flirty scale? Upper body is emotion. That's notation. Seashell. Too short with talons on heart. Aw. Wait, so it's upper body. Is it the whole upper body? We're using the whole upper body, I guess. Upper body was on chest. Oh, you do actually get to put both your talons on your chest. That's cute. Yay. Yay us. We succeeded. I should start secretly flirting with my squish. If you don't know what a squish is, it's an ace term. Or, I guess it's more of an aromantic term. It's like a crush, but platonic. You don't necessarily have to be ace or arrow to have them. I commonly have them, and they screw up my sense of romantic perception. So there's a person where I'm calling them my squish. I could be having romantic attraction. Who knows? I also tried to be sneaky because I had to give someone a Valentine's card last week. Like my art teacher forced me to. I was like, I guess I'll give it to them. I tried to be sneaky about it, and then they came in today and were like, "Did you give me that card?" I said, "Yes." I had to give it to someone. I was like, "Why not give it to you?" Anyways, back to what we were doing. First, we're not listening to them hum. because we are listening to the Lucid Original score. I hope I do not get copyrighted for this. If you haven't watched Lucid's, you should go watch it. It's got really good music. Honestly, insane variety in the music though too. The whole upper body is just. I'm just gonna. Here's my upper body. Steal this and then format it better. I need to rewatch Lucid's. Oh, I messed up my notation. It isn't on that. Bam. That is so much cleaner. It's so much more spread out. Yeah, that works. He also was really good at just incorporating the same sound. So yeah, this is hand on chest, and every flash is you flicking out all your fingers. I had to start headbanging. So yeah. And talents on chest is, I guess, going to be TC. I'm going to make like some stupid decision while coming up with notation. At one point, I'm going to hate it, but for now, so yeah. This is a fun one because I would put my sign hand down first, put my scale hand on top, and flash it twice. When it gets to like you're moving across groups, I'm going to try to not activate scales in the same group at the same time. But you are going to have to be moving groups with some words. And that's going to... Why did I open this one? Why was I going to drink out of this? I'm going to drink out of the mug. That's going to be a little weird. Wacky. But right now, for the simple vocabulary, it's fun. Ocean's Delight. I can't read my own handwriting. And I'm going to need this pattern a lot. Which spell is this? Oh, let's show you. I caught that on accident. I think that's he's a lucid. So the plot of Lucids is these two people meet and they accidentally realize that they were both living in a dream, a shared dream, and that instead of being adults, they're like 7-year-olds. And so they go to a person and they're lucids. which means they have the ability to live in their dreams. Not just live in their dreams, travel to other people's dreams. And essentially, in this world, your dreams can become so real that the people become sentient in them, and then they start having dreams. And so it's a big, infinite, ever-growing tree. And so these two people were in the same dream, which shouldn't be happening. They were like in each other's dreams. I'm not going to spoil. There's a lot of spoilers that could happen, but they're lucids, and they go start getting lucid trainings, and a bunch of weird stuff happens. There's also two smaller series, which are the Adventures of Benjamin and Oliver, which are the two main characters. Then there's Jasper, which is throughout the Lucids, we meet the Jaspers, which essentially are this cult worshipping this one random dude. The dude isn't even aware of it until he meets them, and one of them kidnaps him and stuff. And it's really cute. You should watch it. It's really good cinematography. The whole thing was written, acted, and all the music was made by one person. That person makes really good short films. Except for two characters, where he had his parents voice act them, but he still was the character. He just played the voice acting over. Yeah, but it's really good. You should also watch his other. I didn't write TC on this. Oh, so I only know how to sing one barbershop quartet song, and it's from the series. And it's a couple members of the cult who quit the cult. But did they really? They didn't. I like these two. The next one is even better. I really hope this isn't copyrighted. Ooh, idea. I just realized in the book, rainwings could speak this because they would be able to mimic it, because rainwings can change the color of their scales. And there's two characters. They're not fully dating, they're kind of taking it slow, but one of them's named Turtle and one of them's a rainwing. And so if she wanted to, she could learn to speak this and call him an adorable turtle in the language. So it's a long. We're bringing talons together. We are changing talons together into talons across your body. We're going to go right to left. It's just going to be CV is just going to stand for cross body. Oh, that's weird. Wow. Oh, that was I actually need to control. See. So that would look like. I can flirt with people now. And the flirting symbols are so much more comfortable to do. I find it funny as a coincidence. You have to try to break your body to insult people. I'm gonna call you. Actually, moon heel isn't that bad because it's just duh. Yeah, moon heel is a bit more comfortable, but like stuck up barnacle, it's like not comfortable to do. Not super comfortable to do. You can do it without hurting yourself. But beloved dolphin. That's beloved dolphin. Is that pronounced different than beloved? I don't know. Too short, talons across chest. Wait, oh no, I made a fool of myself. So talons across chest. Oh, we have tail flicks. I forgot about that. Talons. Okay, so. That's what CB stands for now. Uh, we're just going to do TT, and that stands for talons together. I have to lean forward, and it's bringing me too close to the mic. I'm going to put a gently here, because this in general going to be a gentle sign. Okay, so now we can fix you. So, adorable turtle is now, as you can see in the webcam, and the bringing the hand during the signing is very important. It's not a talons on chest, which is TC. It is a talons to your scale hand, wherever it is. Do it gently. This is fun. I'm enjoying this. I hope y'all are enjoying this. Let's see. Beloved dolphin, too short, talons across chest. Ta-da. So that's just CV. So that would be like ba ba. You know what? Uh, if by the end of Friday this video has gotten to 10 views, it's not gonna happen, which is why I'm willing to make this bet. If this video has gotten to 10 views by the end of Friday, I will flirt with my Squish in a language that he does not speak. Ooh, the best flirting. Okay, says flickers. That's going to be short flashes. So sparkling teeth, which is one of our required words, is XXX. A lot better X's than alcohol. And a tail flick. Well, first, tail flicks are going to be wrist flicks. So you rotate your wrist quickly. And I can just call this TF, I guess. Oh wait, I already have tail flick. It's LF, but something the human body can do is quickly. So yeah, right now we're actually riding adapted Aquatic, which is adapted for both scavengers and dragons who can't do bioluminescent scales to be able to speak it. My boyfriend actually, not boyfriend. Oh, that's so embarrassing. My Squish or Crush, I don't really know which, one of those two. My Squish does actually have sparkly teeth because they have braces. Uh, yeah, so that's like. I'm trying doing the flick after, which feels right to me, so I am going to actually put that in. Wow. Writing sign language on paper without pictures is hard. 3 moons? So I managed to avoid this. Because where? Not where. Why? It was like, oh yeah, do this. No, it's not that. So, for those of you who haven't read the series, who just like conlang and decided to watch this, you can also read this if you want. 3 moons is a very common exclamation. I can't talk. So it's like, oh, something surprises you or you're shocked and you go, 3 moons! We can still do that. It's not hard and it makes sense and it doesn't look that bad. Tomorrow I'm going to like stub my tongue and everyone's going to be like, what did you just do? And I was like, I swore in a conlang. Not swore. Not swearing. Not swearing. I shouted at I can't read my handwriting. It's This is not working. Is that talent? Sand through a talon? Sand through talons? Which I don't know what it means. Sand through the talons. I guess. It says side scale. It does not mention which side scale. But we're going to go with some upper scales. But we're going to make it unique. And go with UBT and UBPO. That's wrong. So yeah, this would be. Oh, I get what it is. I can read words like sand through talons. I guess it means like, oh, easily forgotten or like slippery. Snapper got your tail? Which I'm assuming Snapper got your tail is like similar to cat got your tongue or woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Snapper got your tail? Ooh, that's interesting. We're gonna use the tip of the tail for this. Because I'm not doing full body part flashes. Or I guess you could like tap and then flash. I needed that word. This is something Jack and the Sweet Meats Chronicles. It's a weird name for a song, I understand. Snapper got your tail, which we are doing full lowered tail. I should be done soon though. Wait, this... I was doing all this insult signs wrong earlier. Base is upper. Hit. Okay, that makes life easier for insulting people, which is always great. And this is going to flash rapidly. Well, is there a way I can notate this? It's just like Talon Wiggle but bigger. Well, it's like Tail Flick, but rapid. So ours is going to mean rapid, and we are allowed to put it on any side, and that just makes it a more trained version. So in this version, LFR is Talon shakes back and forth, or it's like a bunch of Talon flicks. So for this, your sign hand goes on the opposite hip, and then you rapidly open and close all the fingers while rapidly shaking your... Wow, it's hard to not shake the wrong fist. That's a fun one. That feels fun to do. Shocked by a needle. This is one of those sayings you use to just show how flabbergasted you are. Okay, this is a fun one. So, for notation, we're going to have to add in all scales. On head. Not next to head, like on top of your head. And we are going to use... I'm going to check my notation to make sure I don't get it wrong. Notation is useful. NF. So it would be NFR. Shocked by a needle. I forgot the actual notation for this. It's probably just going to be AS. All scales. In all caps to show how dramatic it is. So AS. AS. XR. NFR. So this, put your hand on your head, flick your fingers rapidly, and stick out your fingers and flop your head. I don't have the body coordination to do both of these at once. I have a list in a language I created. That's probably going to be it for today. I got through all the vocab I had written down, and we got like a ton of notation done. So that's going to be it for today. Next time, which will probably be next Wednesday, we are going to start doing grammar, breaking down the words we have, and just figuring out why they mean what they mean. But until then, goodbye. Have a good rest of your day, and goodbye.